everybody. So yesterday I made a video about being pretty much weighed down by the guilt, the depression, and the loneliness that comes with my life, pretty much being a single mom and dealing with unresolved issues that seem to never stop coming up. No matter how much you try to put, a lid on it, it just keeps boiling over. So I wanted to touch on something that I think is really important that I've come to realize. And I think that's going to be able to help me figure out how to find the happiness that I really crave every day. And I think that's something that we all can really use. It's something that can be a really helpful tool for anybody. I think that people don't really take this into consideration, and it's something that I'm learning. It is how to be selfish. So most of the time everyone has a really negative idea and opinion of what being selfish means, especially me. Growing up, ever since I was little, I always thought being selfish was such an ugly thing and a negative thing, and really looked down on it. I had some strong opinions before about, selfish people. I probably criticized and talked bad about a lot of people for being selfish, and, including some of my own family. And now, thinking about it, I've come to really understand that, it was a problem that I was having, not dealing with my own selfish needs. And it's important to be selfish. I didn't realize that, but until very recently, when I was going through the separation with my ex, and I thought he was the most selfish person in the whole world, and I had all these strong opinions and all these things. But now, after really trying to dig deep and, find out how to grow as a person, I realized that being selfish is one of the most important things that anybody can do in their life. Especially when you have kids. You have to teach them how to be selfish. And I found myself a lot of times restricting my oldest daughter mostly. My twins are just so little yet. It's hard to really restrict their selfishness. Most of the time people do understand a toddler being selfish. Well, actually, surprisingly, not enough people understand that. But for the most part, I like to think people will understand a toddler being selfish. But for my 7-year-old, I found myself a lot of times criticizing or just trying to put a lid on her selfish behavior. And I realize now how wrong that is, because how can I limit her expression of what she wants and then expect her in her future to go for what she wants? It just doesn't make any sense. And that's what I'm dealing with now. Growing up, I was always taught that being selfish was so ugly and it's just a character flaw. And it's not a character flaw to be selfish. It's fundamental in order to find happiness. And 26 years old, here I am, 26 years old, trying to figure that out. Wouldn't it be just so much easier if we taught our kids that from the beginning? If we taught them that being selfish is an important thing to learn how to balance in life, instead of shaming them for having selfish wants, needs, and behaviors. That's something that I think is so important, and I really hope that all of you can start to just think about that. Think about how important it is to teach our kids to be selfish in order for them to have the future that we want them to have, which is feel happy. Happiness, a lot of it comes from being able to admit what we really want and actually going for it. And I've had such a hard time with that. I have been trying to figure out what I want to do with my life and how to go for it, and every single time I try to get to that place, it's like my whole process of thinking shuts down. I mean, I can figure out so many solutions to so many problems in my life on a day-to-day basis, but I can't figure this out, not because it's such a difficult question or because it's the toughest, question that there is. What's the meaning of life? It shouldn't be so complicated, except we make it as a society a very complicated question because we as a society shame each other for being able to answer those questions along our development into adulthood. So instead of shaming each other for being selfish and for wanting things, we should try and start to encourage that and support that. And as a mom, I'm going to do my best to have that as a reminder to myself every single day, and I think all of us as parents should do that, to know how to balance our selfish wants and needs. I really hope that I can do that for my kids, because I'm telling you, it's not fun to just wake up every day and not know what we want and not know how to go there emotionally. How do we get there emotionally if we've always suppressed it? So that's it. Let's just all help each other be a little more selfish. I know that's a strange message to give when we, ironically, when we look at the world, we probably see a lot of what we think is so selfish, and some of it really is, in an ugly way, very selfish, but it's only because we go to extremes sometimes, and we go to a place that we shouldn't have to go to if we just learn how to accept the good type of selfish behaviors in our life. And that's what we're all trying to learn, I think, and how to find happiness, I think, comes from how to balance being selfish. That's it.